What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Fireside Giants. I'm your host, Anthony Rivardo, and the Giants did it. They finally beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Skattebo! Hat trick for Cam Skattebo. Jaxson Dart looked like a stud. The New York Giants defense finally came to play, and the Giants have a win on Thursday Night Football. Can we believe it? What's up, everybody in the chat? I see you all in here. Christian, what's good? Eddie, what's good? Chief Beef. Saquon went crazy today? Not really. Skattebo did. He's the new Saquon. Fireplace Gaming says, let's fucking go. Mrs. FSG says, rah! Shad the GOAT, what a win. Yes, sir. Big win for our New York Giants. I'm excited to finally be going live to talk about a New York Giants win in the post game. Obviously, we got a win a couple weeks ago against the Chargers. Then the Giants threw up on themselves and fell flat on their face against the New Orleans Saints. And now they have a win. They are officially the most bipolar team in the NFL. But the New York Giants, hey, they're 2-4. And they play the Eagles again in 2 weeks. Could they beat them again? Could they get 3 wins on the schedule? Tough Broncos game next week, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's just enjoy the win and be in the moment for the New York Giants, who really do have a breath of fresh air under center at quarterback. Jaxson Dart. What a performance from the rookie. Michael with a great super chat here saying, feels like I took Viagra. Go Big Blue. Scat and Dart. Tell me about it, brother. I am bricked. Chris says, woo! Tyrell Smith, finally complete and dominant win. We got it. We actually got in the victory formation. You're right. When was the last time the New York Giants were in the victory formation, taking a knee with 2 minutes left to play? Wow, just incredible stuff, man. Dane Belton with a punch-out fumble towards the end. Cordell Flat with an interception of Jalen Hurts to essentially ice the game. And hey, enough of the Jalen Hurts as a top 5 quarterback talk that we see on social media. That guy is not a top 5 quarterback. I mean, mid. Giants had him looking silly. That's for sure. Skattebo's out of his mind. What a player. Yes, he is. And I love the way that he uses his mind, or should I say his head, to plow through defenders. Guy is a beast. Yes, this is the New York Giants' first win on Thursday Night Football in 10 years. That is a real statistic. They were 0-10 the last 10 seasons playing on Thursday Night Football until tonight, baby, beating the Philadelphia Eagles. Finally. Yeah, Jalen Hurts had a wide open throw for Devontae Smith. Could have changed the game and a potential 89-yard touchdown, and he airmailed it. Top 5 quarterback doesn't do that, buddy. A-Train, you're right. The Giants should be 3-3. The Giants should have a winning record. They should have beaten the Cowboys. They should have beaten the Saints. They should at least, you're right, be 3-3. But nevertheless, at least they have their second win. Michael Alex is taking care of his baby. It's late. So just me. Solo dolo, excited to be talking about the New York Giants. Finally happy when talking about the New York Giants. I can't believe this is happening. Who else is here in the chat? What's up, everybody? Tyrell is here saying Jalen Hyatt even showed up. Jalen Hyatt had a couple plays. He drew the defensive pass interference. Would have liked to see him make the catch. That was a dot from Jaxson Dart in the left corner of the end zone. Hyatt not able to bring it in, but does draw the penalty flag. So good credit to Jalen Hyatt. Can we also talk about Brian Burns? Guy is playing at a defensive player of the year level right now. 2 sacks tonight. He's got 7 in 6 games. Absolute star. Spider-Man. Loving what I'm seeing from Brian Burns. New York Giants defensive front. You know what? Abdul Carter's not getting the sacks, but he certainly is impacting the game. That kid is nice off the edge for the New York Giants. And Dexter Lawrence, again, maybe not racking up stats in the stat sheet, but he's getting after it. And he is pushing the pocket and forcing these quarterbacks into Brian Burns, who, again, is just playing lights out football through the first 6 games of the season. I think he is the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year. As I see you say in the chat right now, Tyrell, I'm with you, man. He looks Defensive Player of the Year caliber to me this season. He's competing with some other guys, Nick Bonito of the Broncos, who the Giants are going to face next week. That's going to be a handful for their offensive line. But credit to the offensive line. For once, the New York Giants offensive line is pretty decent, isn't it? Last week, they were pretty good. The Giants lost that game for many reasons. Offensive line wasn't one of those reasons. The Giants won tonight for many reasons. Offensive line was one of those reasons. Offensive line has been looking pretty good. Christian, good question. What do I think of everyone going to talk to Dart in the tent? That was awesome, man. This team loves its quarterback. That's the main takeaway that everybody should have from watching this game. On prime time, the rookie came out to play under the bright lights of MetLife Stadium, where the New York Giants have not won a lot of games recently against the Philadelphia Eagles team that they have not been in a very long time. That's the first time since the 2023 season that the Philadelphia Eagles have lost 2 games in a row. That's almost unbelievable, considering the Giants lost 10 games in a row last year, but the New York Giants have a win now. They should have 3 wins in a row, man. They really should be streaking. Jaxson Dart, though, in these first 3 starts of his career, he has gotten better in all 3 of these starts, where he was in the first game, to where he was last week, to where he was this week. Absolutely incredible. But yeah, all the players running up to make sure that he's good in the tent. How about the tidbit that the Amazon Prime broadcast shared with everybody, that Jaxson Dart from the tent was screaming out to the field to support his teammates? How can you not love this kid? Jaxson Dart, what a player. What a guy. He took 2 sacks tonight. That's it. He had 104.6 passer rating, went 17 of 25 passing, 195 yards and a touchdown. And he had a couple drops in there too. He really should have been 20 of 25. But Cam Skattebo, electric. 19 carries for 98 yards. That's 5.2 yards per carry and 3 touchdowns. A Cam Skattebo hat trick. Skattebo! Jaxson Dart also added 13 carries for 58 yards, 4.5 yards per carry, and the 20-yard rushing touchdown in the first quarter to start the game. Gotta love that kid's wheels, man. A lot of people sleep on him and his ability to make plays with his legs. Jaxson Dart ran a 4.5 40-yard dash at his pro day. The kid can move. He is a fast runner of the football. Really, of course, impressive football player. I love what I'm seeing from Jaxson Dart. And hey, shout out to Wan'Dale Robinson. Really quiet the last few weeks. 6 receptions, 84 yards, and a touchdown, including a 35-yard reception. And how about the New York Giants finally wising up and calling up a wide receiver from the practice squad? Hats off to Lil Jordan Humphrey. What a grab he had early in the first quarter. He finished the game with 4 receptions, for 55 yards, including the 34-yard reception down the right sideline in the first quarter. Mike Nixon making a great point here, a member of the channel. Thank you, Mike, saying, Anthony, we found our CB2. No more banks. Fear the flat. I love it. Absolutely. Loving what I'm seeing from Cordell Flott. He had that interception, and he had some really big plays all throughout the game. The defense did come to play in this one. Cordell Flott has sealed that job. WJ, take on Lil Jordan Humphrey. Looked good in first run. Lil Jordan Humphrey looked like an upgrade over what the New York Giants had last week, that's for sure. The Giants' offense was shredded. Darius Slayton was dropping crucial passes and fumbling the football. This week, Lil Jordan Humphrey goes out there, looks pretty sure-handed, doesn't run the wrong routes. We didn't see much of Bo Collins tonight. Bo Collins, that makes sense after last week. He had a costly mistake that turned into an interception. So, you know, it's fun to see these players get their number called up from the practice squad and they step out there and they do their thing. You know, that's what you want to see. And Lil Jordan Humphrey making the most of the opportunity. And WJ with another super chat. Thank you so much. Saying, Flott also officially took Banks' job. Yeah, I think you're right. Deontay Banks, I don't even know if I saw him out on the field on defense at all. But I don't need to, man. Deontay Banks, if it's not one thing, it's another. Cordell Flott, though, he looked really good. Sean, good to see you in here. Cyborgatron saying I was praying you go live after the game. Well, prayers answered. Happy to be here. Happy to be talking about a New York Giants win. Patrick, you're right. Brian Burns, red hot. Joe with a big question here. Did we turn a corner tonight? I don't know if the New York Giants turned the corner tonight, because I don't think a team can turn the corner until we start to see them play with consistency. And the New York Giants are anything but consistent right now. Win against the Chargers, lost to the freaking Saints, win over the Eagles. That's incredible stuff. You love to see the win over the Eagles and the Chargers, but you hate to see the loss to the Saints. So they need to find some more consistency. They need to build on this. They need to go into Denver and put up a fight. Take it to that Denver Broncos, really good Denver Broncos defense, and let Jaxson Dart do what he does best. But really, guys, it's Cam Skattebo is the one who's opening things up for this New York Giants team. The fact that he's ripping 10-yard runs a pop, you know, he averaged over 5 yards per carry tonight. That's simplifying everything for this New York Giants offense. It's opening space for Jaxson Dart to throw the ball to these receivers. And there was a lot of question marks. Who would Jaxson Dart be throwing the ball to? Does he have enough help? Does he have receivers to throw the ball to? Is he going to turn to the tight ends? Well, you know what? These receivers came to play. The tight ends barely even got involved tonight. They were on the field quite a bit. Giants did run a lot of that 12 personnel like we expected. But even still, they went out there and they threw the ball to those receivers, and the receivers answered the call. Wan'Dale Robinson with a massive performance to help the New York Giants secure this win against a shredded Philadelphia Eagles secondary. Not impressed at all by the Philadelphia Eagles, man. They look bad this year. They were struggling coming into this game, and they're going to be having some difficult conversations now following this game. Brian Burns with 7 total tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 tackles for loss, and an additional 2 quarterback hits. Darius Masua, of all people, also had a sack and a quarterback hit. Giants had 3 quarterback hits on Jalen Hurts tonight, 3 total sacks, 7 tackles for loss, 4 pass breakups. Gotta love it. Ruben, I don't think that the Giants are going to trade for a wide receiver for what you just mentioned there. They still don't have a lot of money, and hey, they got a big performance out of Lil Jordan Humphrey, so but no, I don't really think that they can afford. And you know what? A shout out to another player that Giants fans don't talk about enough. Gunnar Olszewski, the return specialist for the New York Giants. Give him some credit. He's done a tremendous job. He's looked really good this year. He had a couple of big returns tonight, including a 37-yarder to get the Giants past the 40-yard line and give them some really good field positioning. So I really like what Gunnar Olszewski is bringing to this team right now. He's looked really good. So shout out to Gunnar Olszewski, man. He deserves it. A lot of fans were critical of him getting a spot on the final 53-man roster. I might have even criticized it at one point, but that guy has absolutely proven everybody wrong and proven to be a valuable player for the Giants special teams. Gunnar is solid. Barry says, thanks, Giants, for my birthday gift today. Let's go. Well, happy birthday, Barry. And let's go New York Giants, Barry. Cordell Flott did win the job. I'm with you, Steven. Good to see you in here. Dart gives me some vibes for sure. I don't know if I would go as far as saying Brady vibes, but he gives me some really good vibes for sure. The thing about Jaxson Dart that's so impressive, and obviously I've been saying this for a long time. You guys know back in January, I jumped on the Jaxson Dart train. But what really impresses me about him is his poise, his ability to navigate the pocket under pressure. Do you guys remember back in 2019? And I'm only using him as an example. I'm not trying to rag on a guy who's playing good football over in Indianapolis. But when Daniel Jones was a rookie for the Giants, we all remember that he fumbled the ball 18 times. He had very bad pocket presence as a rookie. He struggled to sense when the rush was coming, and he ran into a lot of sacks. A lot of snacks snuck up on him, and then he had a lot of fumbles as a result. That's the opposite with Jaxson Dart. That's usually a thing you need to see rookie quarterbacks learn, which is why I'm not even trying to take a stab at Daniel Jones right now. Most rookie quarterbacks aren't good with their pocket presence and standing in the pocket and understanding when the rush is coming. But the really good young quarterbacks, they have the ability to feel that pressure and have that poise under pressure. And that's why I'm so impressed with Jaxson Dart and why I'm really confident he's going to have a hot start to his career and become a pretty damn good pro. Because that's the toughest thing for a young quarterback to learn is how to remain poised under pressure. And that is the best trait that I see out of Jaxson Dart. That's something to keep an eye on, Giants fans. He's been really, really good when the pocket crumbles down around him. So, yeah, his poise is insane for a rookie, man. It really is. Yeah, big shout out to the defense. Did you guys watch that post-game show? That was great. I didn't, but I think Alex did. He's sending some stuff in our group chat, so I'm excited to check that out afterwards. Yeah, his toughness too. He's got the poise under pressure, Jaxson Dart, but then also when he's running out of the pocket, stepping through the pocket, making plays out of the pocket, he's putting that shoulder down and he's lighting up defenders. And that's that Baker Mayfield element, right? Where when your quarterback can get into the face of a defender, put his shoulder down, run through a defender, the whole team appreciates that. The whole team says, yeah, that's my guy. He's going to battle for me like that. I'm going to battle for him. And that's what you see over in Tampa Bay with Baker. It's what you're seeing right now in New York, New Jersey with Jaxson Dart. He has the whole team playing for him. So does Cam Skattebo. Those two, it's like Sonic and Knuckles, man. Those two have the whole team energized as they collect rings, hopefully, for the Giants. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check out this post-game show. I love the way that Jaxson Dart plays, man. It's pocket presence. He's been making full field reads. He is just so calm in the pocket, especially under pressure. He had that third down throw in tonight's game. I want to say it was to Theo Johnson over on the right side. He took a shot, stood in there, knew the pressure was coming, gets hit high up around the chest, and just drops an absolute dart on the receiver for a first down. And that's one of the things that I've noticed when it's third down, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8, whatever, 3rd and long, you see Jaxson Dart make plays. He converts a lot of those 3rd and long opportunities that the New York Giants were not converting in the past. So you see Jaxson Dart hang in there, 3rd down, money down, 4th down, whatever, high leverage situations, high intensity and high pressure moments, and he makes those plays. Special. Kid is special. Thomas, thank you for the super chat saying just joined after the post game. Did you give Dable credit yet? Give him a break, man. It's coming together. I actually haven't given Dable credit yet, but I will give him credit. He did a good job tonight. The New York Giants played a great game. They looked prepared. They outcoached a really good football team. So, yeah, Brian Dable does deserve some credit for this one. Sean saying, when was the last time we had a quarterback just move around like that in the pocket? It's been a long time. I mean, even in the tail end of Eli's career, he had some trouble in the pocket. You know, he wasn't exactly the most athletic guy, so he wasn't able to escape the way that Jaxson Dart's able to escape. But yeah, his pocket presence, really good. Adrian, I'm with you. Diddy Quan, as my guy Bad Dog likes to talk him, didn't really do shit tonight. He had a couple big runs in the first quarter, and that was it. We don't need no Saquon anymore. We got Skattebo. Colin, CTE Scat is unstoppable. CTE is afraid of Cam Skattebo. Cam Skattebo plays football like he wants to acquire CTE. It's fucking awesome. I love it. CTE will stand there in the A gap and see Cam Skattebo about to hit the gap. It'll start running and turn and run the other way. Yeah, Jeffrey, we can give Brian Dable credit for tonight. But like I said, you know, somebody was asking me if we turn the corner earlier in the chat. I got to see consistency. I'll give Dable more credit when they get back-to-back wins. You know, he gets credit for tonight. He coached a good game. The New York Giants played their hearts out, and they won a hard-fought win over a division rival. Credit to Brian Dable. But I'm not going to give him all the credit until he wins 2 in a row. So I got to see more consistency out of this team. And Dable wasn't without his faults tonight. Weird timeout at the end of the second quarter. But we beat a couple of good football teams now. The Chargers are a good football team. The Eagles are a good football team. And now we can start to see what he's trying to put together here. And if he can get a few more of these wins, who knows? Maybe he does turn things around and save his job. Who knows? We'll see it. But I got to say, though, from the offensive standpoint, the play calling standpoint, the Giants have done a really good job just simplifying things for Jaxson Dart and giving him these easy throws, kind of pitch and catch plays at times to get him in a rhythm. We praised that a lot during the preseason, how Dart was able to get into a rhythm with some of the play calling, a lot of quick, easy passes, you know, and you watch how Jaxson Dart operates in that quick passing offense. It's really impressive. And again, I think the Giants are recognizing that, and they're doing a good job of making sure that he gets the ball out quickly. Egypt Steel 85 with a big $20 super chat. Awesome. Thank you so much, Egypt. Saying just showing support as always. Let's fucking go. Really do appreciate all your support, Egypt. Thank you so much for that big super chat. And LFG. Cam Simpson hitting the LFG, saying play with passion, win games. 100% true. That's something that you notice with this Giants team right now. They don't have all of that sad, boring energy that they had last season. Last year, when they would go up against a team like the Eagles, they looked defeated by the first snap. Like they would lose the coin toss and decide that they've lost the game. That's how the Giants used to play. But right now, with all these young players and this passion that Jaxson Dart and Cam Skattebo has, the passion that Abdul Carter has, his team has finally bought into the players who are leading the team, and they're finally starting to play as a team. And it's really exciting stuff to see. So the passion is really making all the difference. I think that's what it is. Sean saying, everyone smash the like for that Giants win. Thank you, Sean. And everybody, please do smash the like. Yeah, Zeke, the Giants should have hung 40 on them. And I really wish they did. I wanted them. They got into victory formation the final 2 minutes. I was like, that's awesome to see the Giants in victory formation. I would have liked to see them cut the throat. Go out there and hang 40 on the Eagles. That would have been sick. Christian, I'm drinking the Dart and Skattebo Kool-Aid too. Give me all of that Kool-Aid. I'm chugging it. Jaxson Dart, that's my guy. You guys know, if you were watching this channel in January, you know which quarterback we liked on this channel over the likes of Shedeur Sanders and Milroe and everybody else. Jaxson Dart was my guy from the start of that pre-draft process. I loved Jaxson Dart at Ole Miss. I thought he was super, super impressive, and I still think he's super, super impressive. Every game, he looks more impressive. He's finding more poise in the pocket every game. He's finding different ways to use his legs while also protecting his body. Yeah, he took some shots. He's in the medical tent again. That's, not ideal, but he's finding ways to make plays, and he's throwing the ball with accuracy. Hit a downfield shot. That's his first downfield shot that he's hit tonight. Yeah, I was a Ward guy, TD Midas. I meant after Ward, Dart over. I had Dart QB2. That's what I was saying. And I still think Cam Ward is going to be a good player. I'm still a big fan of him. But everybody knows I was a big Jaxson Dart fan during the pre-draft process. I wrote an article in January that said Jaxson Dart will be the steal of the NFL draft. I don't usually make bold claims like that, but I made one this year, and I'm really happy that I did. I want that article to be my legacy. Steven, you're right. OBJ would have caught that thing. I think he's got potential to be TD Midas. I don't see why not. He gives you everything you need. He's got unbelievable pocket presence, which is why we liked Cam Ward so much. We liked Cam Ward in the pre-draft process because of his pocket presence. Hasn't necessarily shown up the same way, though, in the NFL, but Darts has really shown up. His pocket presence, and that's the number one trait that separates quarterbacks and makes them special, is that ability to navigate in a muddy pocket and sense the pressure. Dart's got that, so he really can be. He can be better than Ward. He can be better than a lot of quarterbacks, man. He can be special. That is a very, very rare trait to see a young quarterback possess, and he's got it. S. Myers, what's thoughts on Tay Banks? Tay Banks is not a starter on this team anymore. He's out there on kickoffs. He's the second return specialist. He's not even starting in that regard. He's not a starting cornerback for the New York Giants. He's a backup now. And it's not necessarily his fault. Like, I've given this take before, and I'll give it again. The Giants run too much man coverage for Tay Banks. A lot of fans, when the Giants drafted Deonte Banks, thought that they got a press man cornerback. Deonte Banks was not a press man cornerback at Maryland. He was a press cornerback, but he was a press zone cornerback. The Maryland defense ran a lot of cover 3 zone, and that's what he was comfortable in. That's what he thrived in. The Giants run a lot of man coverage. This year, they're running more man coverage than any other team, more cover 1 man particularly than any other team. So that's where Deonte Banks is struggling. He doesn't do well in man when his back is to the quarterback. We know he always gets head topped when his back is to the quarterback. That's why. It's because the Giants run a lot of man coverage. So if they ever do run more zone, he could become a scheme fit, but he's not a fit right now. Cordell Flott, on the other hand, this is the 4th season of his career. He's still only 24 years old. He's a young player. He's still developing, and he's gotten better every single year, and he holds up in man coverage. So Cordell Flott is the starting CB2 for the New York Giants until proven otherwise, and I don't think that's going to be proven otherwise anytime soon. That's a guy who's playing for an extension right now. He looks like he's in a contract year. He's balling, and I think the Giants should extend him. What do we need more, offensive line or defensive back? I think we need better schematics on the defensive side of the ball. I think there's talent back there, man. They've got some talented players in that secondary. They just got to figure out how to use them. Yeah, Schlottman came in for an injured JMS. Praise up for JMS. Hopefully he's all right. But you know what? We'll see how it is with Schlottman. If he gets more reps, I don't have a ton of confidence in that, but I have confidence in just the way this offensive line has looked. You know what's funny, though, is a lot of Giants fans have been saying, credit to Carmen Bracillo, this offensive line looks so much better now. Credit to Andrew Thomas, this offensive line looks so much better with him in the lineup. Both of those are right. They both deserve credit. But it's not a coincidence that the offensive line has looked better over the last 3 weeks. A good quarterback makes an offensive line look a lot better. Something that I said all offseason long. I expect the Giants' offensive line to be better this year, not just because they actually have Andrew Thomas healthier, because they didn't make any upgrades to the offensive line. It's the same offensive line. I said I expected the Giants' offensive line to be better because they're going to have better quarterback play and quarterbacks with pocket presence. A lot of those pressure moments for Dart are sacks for previous Giants quarterbacks. Tommy DeVito takes 5 sacks in this game. Drew Lock takes 6 sacks. Tim Boyle takes 7. Jaxson Dart took 2. One of them he was basically running on. It was barely even a sack. He only lost 2 yards. That's the big difference. It's a huge difference. The quarterback play is what makes this offensive line. I mean, he was sacked twice. He lost 1 yard on 2 sacks. That's great quarterbacking right there. That's why this offensive line looks so much better to everybody. It's because the quarterback is better. That's what's exciting to me. You've got players being elevated. This is not a good and talented offensive line, but it's being elevated by the quarterback. Be excited about that. Jaxson Dart jerseys are sold out, man. I got to get one, though. That SPS score guy is going to get paid. Shout out to my boy, Brainy Ballers. Really exciting. Brainy Ballers. That SPS model is legit, dude. TD Midas saying, honestly, I remember Anthony saying Flat would start to peak around year 3 when we drafted him. Yeah, and I think by year 3 he would have. He's in year 4 right now, but if you remember, in year 2 of his career, the Giants tried to make him a slot cornerback. He was never comfortable playing in the slot. He was always a boundary cornerback. They moved him back to the boundary last year. He started to play better, and now this year you're seeing him peak. So he was just a player that was underdeveloped coming out of college. You got to be patient with some of those guys, and Cordell Flott finally coming into his own in a contract year. I'm really excited for him. Mr. Cheesecake, going to run my head into a telephone pole in honor of Skattebo. If you run your head into a telephone pole and you send me a video of it, I will find the telephone pole and I will run my head into a telephone pole. In fact, I might run my head into 3 telephone poles because he had 3 touchdowns tonight. Absolutely, Sean, you're right. Having Cannonball Cam run through that offensive line helps too. It does. Having a running back who sets the tone like that and who helps in pass protection, he's a willing blocker. That was a criticism for him coming out of the draft. Is he a willing blocker? Yes, he's willing. He wants to punch people in the face. He's a very willing blocker. Sean says, just make sure you wear a helmet and pads. Cam even did that with his brothers. Nah, man. I'm just running into the telephone pole. I'm raw dogging it. I'll be all right. Pray for me, though. But I'll be all right. Yeah, Abdul Carter looked good tonight. Schlottman stepped up. Next man up mentality. That's what the New York Giants need. They haven't had that in the past. A guy who steps in, next man up, and makes some plays. Gotta love it, man. A game like tonight, rookie quarterback on primetime beating the Eagles. I might have to get his jersey for that. I wasn't going to get a Giants jersey this year. If you asked me 24 hours ago, I definitely would have said no. But honestly, now, after watching Jaxson Dart do that, I believe there's something special with this kid, man. I really do. It's the mentality. It's the way he holds himself. It's his confidence. It's all of those things. It's the separator. The 2 things, I've said this so many times on the channel. You guys can solidify me. I've said 2 things separate a good young quarterback from the rest of them. Pocket presence and confidence. If a quarterback has those 2 things, they're going to find more success in their career. I say that all the time. What are the 2 best traits for Jaxson Dart? Pocket presence, confidence. That's why I was so confident in him and why I believed in him as a potential star in this league. And I'm excited to see him blossom into that, hopefully. And hey, that's another thing that I said leading into this game. This is a tough matchup here. The Eagles, this is a tough environment at home on primetime, coming off of a loss like the one the Giants had last week, playing with Lil Jordan Humphrey and Jalen Hyatt as starting outside receivers. And what I said was we are going to learn a lot about how Jaxson Dart responds to adversity, how he handles himself when the going gets tough. And boy, did he handle himself. I agree, JW. This is a culture-changing win. Absolutely is. Chris, that's not even what I was saying. I didn't even mention Daniel Jones. I went through a list of quarterbacks. I said Tim Boyle, Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito. Those are the 3 quarterbacks that I mentioned. I didn't even see Daniel Jones' name, Chris. Miss me with that. Burns is the best player on the defense right now. Burns is the best defensive player in football right now. Lil Jordan Humphrey changed my life too. TD minus, that's what I've said all summer long. I said, hey, listen, the schedule on paper is really tough. You never know. It's the NFL. It's a week-to-week league. One team might be really good one week. They might be really bad the next. That's the New York Giants right now. Really good against the Chargers, really bad against the Saints. The thing is, they're playing up and down to their competition. They played up to the Chargers. They played down to the Saints. They played up to the Eagles. We need to see them play up next week to a really good Broncos team. I think the Broncos were on bye this last week. Is that right? So they're going to be fresh and rested. That's a tough Broncos team with a really good pass rush too. But you know what? I think that the Giants have a chance now. Well, Chris, I ain't everybody. I did a whole video yesterday saying, you know what? I'm not even gonna. I've said my piece on Daniel Jones. He's not on the Giants. I don't know why we're talking about him. The Giants just won a football game. We're not talking about the Colts. We're talking about the New York Football Giants. All right. The New York Giants just beat the Eagles for the first time in years. When was the last time the Giants beat the Eagles while the Eagles had their starting quarterback in the lineup? Because the last time they beat them, they didn't. Jalen Hurts was resting because the Eagles had already secured a playoff bye. When was the last time it happened? I don't know. It's been a long time. Brandon, yeah, I think Lil Jordan Humphrey's going to play some more, even when Slayton comes back. Slayton should be back next week, man. He only had a hamstring pull, and he was questionable for half of the week going into this week's game. So there's a chance that Slayton's back for week 7, but Lil Jordan Humphrey's still going to see some playing time. He performed really well. But as we wind down this live stream, guys, I was planning on just doing the half-hour live stream. Let me know any of your last-minute thoughts and questions. Drop them in the chat right now. A new Jax City. I like that TD minus. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I think that it's been about 9 matchups. I think you're right. That's 5 years or whatever. It's a long time. Yeah, that's the only time I can remember. I know that there was a time, I want to say in Jalen Hurts' rookie season. So what was that? Was that 2021? I know that the Giants beat the Eagles then. That's the last time that I can remember. Yeah, TD Midas, the Giants actually had Jalen Hyatt run some out routes, run some curl routes. Like he wasn't just running go routes all game long. So that was a nice change of pace. He had a drop, though. He had a couple nice receptions. The kid needs reps. He doesn't play enough. He also doesn't play well when he plays, and that's part of the problem. But he needs more opportunities. He's not going to get better by just running 9 routes and then being sent to the sideline. Sean saying, no questions, nothing but love, Giants family. We needed this win. John Mara needed this win to win for all of us. Absolutely true. Prayers up for John Mara. All right, let's relax, Nato. I don't think he became a star, but at least he can contribute now to the offense. No, it was a tough catch. It was. You're not wrong. Yeah, I think they were all quick outs, Thomas. But he also drew the DPI on a stop and go in the left corner of the end zone. Justin says, let's fucking go. Candyman, this is one of the Giants' best wins that I can remember in years. You're absolutely right. Since that 2022 season, for sure. A little Jaxson Dart chant going on here. Jaxson Dart. Jaxson Dart. Getting a win against the trashy fucking Eagles always does hit different. I hate the Eagles. There's nothing that I hate more in this earth than the Philadelphia Eagles and their scumbag fucking fans. I hate the Eagles. This win is a lot sweeter than any normal New York Giants win. Anytime the Giants beat the Eagles, I am thrilled about it. It's been a long time. It's been a long time coming. Somebody had to humble this overrated fucking piece of trash Philadelphia Eagles team. And I am happy that my New York Giants did that tonight on primetime. Cam is an absolute maniac, and Dart is making me believe again. Thank you, Shever Gray, with the super chat. Maniac is right. Like I said, CTE is afraid of Cam Skattebo, and Jaxson Dart does have me believing. I believe in Jaxson Dart, man. I really do. Man, wouldn't you love to see the Giants also beat the Cowboys later this year? How about the Commanders? The Commanders are good now. Go toe-to-toe with them. We should have beat the Commanders in week 1. We had all those red zone trips, and we didn't score. The difference tonight, the reason why we won, we actually converted some goddamn red zone opportunities. Can you believe that? We had one of the worst red zone offenses in the NFL going into this game. We probably still do, but hey, we converted this time around, thankfully. Jaxson Dart is the difference, though, in the red zone. Make no mistake about it. He's had those touchdown runs early in those games, and that's opened things up for them when they get into the red zone. Really, really cool stuff. Chris, you're right. Yeah, no turnovers. Clean football. Complimentary football. Both sides of the ball played well. They forced turnovers, and they didn't turn the ball over. Big deal considering they turned it over 5 straight possessions last week. Saquon who? We got Skattebo! Cry, Eagles, cry. Sean, you're right. All of the losses this year, the Giants beat themselves. absolutely true. They beat themselves against the Cowboys, that's for sure. They beat themselves with those penalties and bad play calls in the red zone against the Washington Commanders. Won't even mention last week, but JW, I'm with you, man. I think we got one. I think we got one of them ones. Yeah, that sign was awesome. Interesting take by Steven, but hey, I'm with you. Jaxson Dart, he's the better quarterback. He's the best quarterback on this roster. Jeffrey saying, Skattebo, the douche push counter punch. Thanks, Fireside, for being great. Well, thank you, Jeffrey, for always being in these live streams and for all of your support. Really do appreciate the super chat. But yeah, man, I am fucking sick of the tush push. Can we ban that shit already? Get it out of here. That does not belong in my beautiful sport. It does not belong in football. It is not a football play. And it is just so boring. It hurts the product of the game. Who wants to sit there and watch Jalen Hurts get his ass shoved 4 plays in a row? Miss me with that shit. Get that off my screen. Oh, King GB, my boy Daniel, you know I was going crazy. Skattebo! If ever there was a time to scataboom, now is the time to scataboom. 3 tuds. Calls for 3 scatabooms. But we've done a lot more than 3 on this live stream, that's for sure. Yeah, just tush push, tush push, tush push. Get it out of the sport. It doesn't belong here. 3 plays in a row. It is Pee-wee football. It's stupid. Get it out. It's not even. It's a fucking rugby play. Adonis with a good question. Do I think Hurts is actually overrated or overhated? Just want to know. I think they made it easy for him to win the Super Bowl here. Listen, I think he's an elite game manager. That doesn't make you an elite quarterback. He does some really good things as a passer in the quick game. He does hit the deep ball quite well. But I think he's elevated by a lot of talent around him. I don't necessarily think he elevates the talent around him. He's got a lot of help there in Philadelphia, and he's got some flaws to his game. But hey, you know what? A lot of quarterbacks have flaws to their game. He's a Super Bowl champion. You got to hand him his respect at some point. But he's not a top 5 quarterback, that's for sure. When you look at the 5 best quarterbacks in the NFL, you look at the big 4 with Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, and Lamar. That's the big 4. Who's number 5? There's a lot of guys in that mix. It's not Jalen Hyatt. Or I'm sorry, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hyatt. I could see us beating the Broncos. I could see us beating anybody at this point. It's just, you got to put up or shut up. He gets a lot of help, man. He's not garbage, but he gets a lot of help. He missed. I mean, Devontae Smith was streaking down Main Street, and he missed him. That should have been an 89-yard touchdown. Christian, please do. The Giants won a game without Malik Neighbors. That's pretty awesome. I mean, everybody wrote them off. Their odds of winning games completely plummeted after Neighbors went down. But, hey, man, they found a way to win tonight. Got to be happy about it, man. But, all right, guys, I am going to start winding down this live stream. I really do appreciate everybody who tuned in. The New York Giants finally got a win over the Eagles. Can you believe it, man? Super exciting. And, of course, you guys know we're going to have an awesome post-game reaction tomorrow as well, breaking the whole thing down, me and Alex on the channel. It's going to be fun, so do make sure to tune into that and stay tuned for all of the great New York Giants content that we have planned over the next 10 days now that we have a long break before the next Giants game. Film breakdowns, all 22, interviews, a lot of fun stuff coming to the channel. So do make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you're new, ring the bell so you don't miss an episode, and comment your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you listen to us on Apple or Spotify, make sure to leave us a 5-star review. And go ahead and follow us on all of our social media channels at Fireside Giants. We're posting some really funny content lately, so definitely go follow us on the Instagram. But, guys, I really do appreciate you. The New York Giants got to win. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good one. Let's go New York Giants. And Skattebo!
Perfect.